Welcome once again to SoCo Chat, a podcast where we hear directly from county leaders, offer updates on local news, and discuss all things related to this wonderful corner of California that we know as the County of Sonoma. I'm your host again, Paul Gullickson, Communications Manager for the County of Sonoma. And today we begin by extending an invitation to all of you listeners to attend or at least hear about a monumental event happening on Friday, May 3rd. It's the Tierra De Rosas, a keystone project of the Casa Roseland project in the Roseland area. And they'll be having a groundbreaking ceremony. Today's interview, we'll be talking to Ray Tovar, Community Development Associate with the county's Community Development Commission. We'll be talking about what is planned at the site and this groundbreaking ceremony. But before we get to Ray, we'd like to remind you all of our weekly trivia question. Our question this week is this. What local entity operated from a table on the sidewalk outside of a collapsed building on Hinton Avenue in downtown Santa Rosa following the 1906 earthquake? This question correlates to the last week we just celebrated the anniversary of the 1906 earthquake with the great Sonoma County shakeout. All of you climbed into your desks, right? We did. We took part. But also, so what was the entity that operated on a table outside of that collapsed building? And as a bonus question, what was the building that collapsed in that 1906 earthquake in downtown Santa Rosa? If you know, call us at 707-565-2242. Once again, that's 565-2242. Or email us at publicaffairs@sonoma-county.org. That's public affairs, one word, at sonoma-county.org. If you submit your answer to today's SoCo Chat question and you're correct, you'll be entered into our weekly drawing for a chance to win one of our limited edition SoCo Chat coffee mugs. We're running out. You got to get one now. Anyway, we hope you send us your answers. Now, let's get to today's topic. Ray, thank you so much for joining us on SoCo Chat.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, let's start off. And why don't you just remind us, what is the Tierra De Rosas project and why is it so important to the area of Roseland?
Tierra De Rosas is a mixed-use development in the Roseland area that includes not only affordable housing, market rate housing, a community building, a mercado and food hall, and 1 acre plaza. And it's important to the neighborhood because, as you all know, Roseland has been kind of the stepchild for a while, and it's about time that it got the attention that it deserves. And this is just the beginning of that.
Well, and just for some of our listeners that may not be familiar with this, Roseland is the area just west of Santa Rosa that is being annexed or has been annexed, and but it's not always had the services that many other parts of the area have received, right? It's kind of been the stepchild of,
that is correct.
Yeah. So why is it so important? This project so important to that area? Do you think?
The community went along with us through many exercises and provided input on what the community of Roseland itself wanted to have on this particular site. And as a result of those meetings, those long nights and long sessions, this plan emerged with what the community wanted, housing, and more specifically, the park in the center of this as the lungs of the community, if you will, to instill life that is desperately needed in the area.
Yeah, and a community gathering spot.
Yes. Yeah,
the place where the people in the community can come together. Well, let's talk a little bit about the groundbreakings because this is very exciting. You have a number of people coming to this, which I guess really underscores how significant this is for the area, including those who are coming are State Senate President Pro Tem, State Senator Mike McGuire, and so he's going to be there. Why do you think this project has garnered such a support from our leaders in the area?
Well, I think that Roseland is an emerging neighborhood. Revitalizing this area has been probably in the forefront of many of these people coming to celebrate this. And we all want to be a part of it. It's the thing to do now in Santa Rosa, be a part of the Roseland community and the revitalization of this, because it affects everybody, it benefits the community more than anybody else.
Yeah, well, and there's been a lot of partners that have come together to make this happen, right?
Yes.
Not just the county, but the city and state and many organizations have come together to make this happen.
Absolutely. This is a team effort.
A real team
effort. Making it work.
Well, a key part of this project is not just the community gathering spot, which we'll get into more in a minute, but the housing portion. And it's not just the apartments, but we wanted to make sure that they were affordable. Many of them were affordable to the people in the community. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Tierra De Rosas is the beginning of this work. Will lead the way into the development of
So
Casa
just to be
Rosa.
clear, Tierra de Rosas is the community gathering area, the plaza portion of this. The park.
The Tierra de Rosas is the entire project,
Mhm.
and this section of the work that's being done now is the backbone infrastructure that
Okay.
will create the ability
foundation.
the foundation for the other buildings to be
Got it.
erected on
That's
the
what I
site.
meant. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And Casa Roseland will be the first one to come online with 75 units of family housing that will be affordable to households making between 30 and 50% of the median income in Sonoma County, which is around 54,000 for a family of one, or up to 75,000 for a family of four.
Yeah. Well, that's what it takes nowadays but even that is affordable. That's people in that area cannot find housing right now. So these kinds of units are really important in our community. Now, we also have some units are going to be for very low income, correct?
Yes, the ones that are targeted to 30% of the median income, which is the extremely low population, extremely low income population in the county.
Okay. And what range are we talking about in terms of income?
Well, 30%, as you can imagine, if the median income in Santa Rosa, as we were saying, for a family of one is 54, that's at 50%.
Okay.
So
half of that.
half of that will be the 30% income.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about 27,000 or so.
Okay, and there's even more of a need for
Yes.
that kind of support. Well, tell us about take a step back. Tell us about what kind of obstacles. This has been in the works for a long time. We've talked about it for more than 10 years down there, and this particular site where the Matote Food Park is located. There's been some building. The old dollar store was there. In fact, long ago, there was a bowling alley there. Those were torn down a long time ago to make way for this, and now it's finally coming to fruition. Tell us about some of the obstacles that we had to overcome to make this happen.
Sure. In addition to, as you would expect, the pandemic that slowed down everybody.
Yeah.
Just not ourselves in Sonoma County, but throughout the entire country, actually the entire world. We experienced also some budget increases. And at one point, not too long ago, the project had an $18 million, more than an $18 million gap
Yeah.
in funding that put the project at risk.
Yeah.
But through the collaboration of all of our partners, the county, the city, the Ag and Open Space District in Sonoma County, the state infill infrastructure grant program, we were able to fill the gap, and now we're ready to commence the work. And the partnerships that we created along the way is what making this happen.
Yeah, it is amazing how people came together to make this happen. And obviously costs go up, construction costs, the infrastructure costs went up, but each step of the way, you were able to find a way to bridge that gap. Now, I mean, going back to the beginning, originally, I believe this was viewed. The anticipation was to use redevelopment funds to do this project, and then the governor did away with redevelopment agencies. So now we had to go back to square one to figure out how to make this happen, and that took a long time too.
That's a very good point, and something that we needed to make. And thank you for bringing that up, because it's true that redevelopment agencies, when they disappear,
Yeah.
They took away a lot of the funding sources that we anticipated for this project as well.
Yeah, and it continues to make redevelopment projects like this much more difficult in communities along the way. Well, let's talk about the groundbreaking itself. Now, it's on May 3rd. Is that right?
That's correct.
It's Friday, May 3rd.
A week from this Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
And what time is it going to happen?
The event is going to be, people are going to start showing up at 9:30.
Okay.
The speakers are scheduled to be at 10 o'clock.
Okay. And what should people expect? There's going to be some speeches, and there's going to be some actual
Yes.
shovels going in the dirt.
Absolutely. You can expect the golden shovels to be and appear to be present that day. The speeches from the participants, and then the dirt event that is exciting.
That's always exciting. Yeah, to see some it's one of those times where you see dirt being thrown, and that's a good thing. So we'll and the general public's invited to attend, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
It's open to the public.
Yeah, and there will be Spanish interpretation will be available, right?
Yes, it'll be available for those who need it.
Yeah, we're excited about that. And I'll throw in a plug for my team. We're going to be out there recording it. For those who couldn't attend, we'll be offering a recording on look for it on social media. We'll be posting recording of the groundbreaking. So for those who can't make it,
Great, you heard it from him, people.
yeah, we're
It's
promising.
going to be available.
We're promising right now. So, are there any other projects like this planned in the future? I mean, I know it took a long time to get here, and these are not easy things to do. But this is an exciting project for the community.
It's been an exciting project. It's been a complicated project, more so because of the redevelopment agency issues. But we are always looking for opportunities to create more projects like this, not only countywide, but in the neighborhood. More affordable housing is needed, as we all know, desperately needed in some areas more than others. But yes, we are looking for opportunities. I can't tell you specifically where in the Roseland neighborhood, but we're always open for other opportunities.
Yeah, well, I know that's a key goal of the counties and the city to continue creating projects like this in the area, and it fills a huge need. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the project and what's going to happen out there?
Well, I think it's going to be an exciting event, a long time in the planning, and it's about time that Roseland got some attention.
Yeah, I agree. And if you haven't been out there, it's right where the Matote Food Park is, which is really a fun gathering spot, and it's become a community's gathering spot of its own.
Yes, absolutely, and that's exactly where the event will be. So if you've been to Mitote, you've been there, you know where it is.
Great food. Well, Ray, thank you so much for being with us today. As a thank you for being our guest, we'd like to give you one of our SoCo Chat mugs. And to our listeners, we want to give you a chance to get a mug as well. Just to answer be the correct answer for our trivia question, and you can win one yourself. So our question for this week again is: what local entity operated from a table on the sidewalk outside of a collapsed building in downtown Santa Rosa, a collapsed building on Hinton Avenue after the 1906 earthquake? And as a bonus question, what was the collapsed building? Once again, if you know the answer, call us at 707-565-2242 or email us at publicaffairs@sonoma-county.org. And if you have the right answer, we'll put your name into our weekly drawing for a chance to win one of our SoCo Chat coffee mugs, and we'll mention your name here on one of our podcasts. Also, if you have comments about this or any other segment, or have a suggestion for a topic for a future SoCo Chat segment, please email us at that same address, publicaffairs@sonoma-county.org. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you all. We hope you continue to follow SoCo Chat on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and YouTube. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Ray.
And thank you for having me, and thank you for this collector's item.
You're more than welcome.